Welcome to Seeing Green Solutions for Our Daily Lives, the podcast where we spotlight the brands, ideas, and people making it easier to live sustainably every day. Today's episode is part of our Spotlight series, a deep dive into one of our Seeing Green Solutionists of the day. And now, today's solution.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're kicking off our analysis as part of the Seeing Green Spotlight series. This is where we take a closer look at the solutionist of the day and the real solutions they bring, to help us all be healthier and greener in our daily lives. And just a quick reminder, if you enjoy these kinds of insights, please do subscribe and follow us at Seeing Green Eco across social media. We really love it when you engage with the community. Okay, so today we are returning to a topic that's always popular, sustainable apparel. We've done deep dives before on innovators like Benny, Made the Label, ThreadUp. Definitely check those out if you're into this topic. But today, in the spotlight, Houdini Sportswear. Before we jump into their story, maybe let's just quickly refresh the big picture. The sustainability challenges in the apparel industry overall. It's pretty stark.
Oh, absolutely. It's fundamentally a broken system, the linear model. It starts right at the beginning of the material sourcing. Think about the huge reliance on virgin petroleum-based resources. Massive.
Then you get into the manufacturing footprint, the energy use, the water consumption. It's staggering. And that's before you even talk about the chemicals and dyes, which often end up polluting local water sources. It's a heavy impact.
And that pollution trail doesn't just end at the factory gate, right?
Not at all. You've got shipping, complex global logistics adding to the carbon footprint. But maybe the most systemic issue, particularly with fast fashion really pushing it, is just the lack of durability. Things are designed to become obsolete so quickly.
Designed to fail, almost.
Pretty much, which means millions of tons of textiles just heading straight to landfill after barely being used. It's that classic take, make, dispose model. And that's exactly what innovators like Houdini are trying to dismantle.
Okay, so that really sets the stage. If those are the massive problems, then the innovators, the solutionists, they have to focus on some key areas. Our sources show Houdini and others are really prioritizing, a few core things. Things like designing for real durability, longevity, systematically choosing sustainable materials, natural fibers, recycled content, getting rid of harmful chemistries, those bad list chemicals, and crucially, offering circular services, repair, rental, take-back programs, the whole loop. Which brings us squarely to Houdini Sportswear. Started way back in 1993 in Stockholm, Sweden. It grew out of this shared idea, didn't it? To make functional outdoor gear, layering pieces that didn't trash the planet. That's over 30 years they've been at this?
Yeah, and what's really key here is that it seems like they were built on a genuine mission from day one, not just, a product gimmick. Their whole philosophy is captured in their manifesto, do more with less. And it's not just about being less bad. They're explicitly aiming to create a net positive impact through their apparel. That's a pretty bold goal.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that philosophy seems to weave into how they see their customers and nature itself. The sources really highlight this deep connection. They believe that spending time outdoors, in nature, actually inspires people to become better stewards.
Exactly. The thinking is if you love playing in the forest or climbing a mountain, you're naturally going to want to protect that place. It makes sense, right?
Totally.
And this translates into a different kind of business strategy. It's less about quick transactions and more about building real long-term relationships. Customers become genuine brand ambassadors, leading to more stable organic growth. It's relational, not just selling stuff.
Okay, so let's shift to the actual products. The design philosophy sounds like it's really people plus planet. Designing for function, comfort, sure, but with longevity as the main driver.
And that's their direct hit against fast fashion. The aesthetic is often described as minimalist or stealth. They call the garments chameleons. They're designed to look good and work well whether you're in the city or out on a trail.
Versatile. So they don't just go out of style next season.
Exactly. That versatility helps them bypass those quick trend cycles. It's apparently one reason they've done so well in places like Japan, their second biggest market outside Europe. They value that understated high-quality design there.
But here's where it gets really interesting for me. Designing specifically for that long lifespan. They view clothing as a tool for adventures, not just some disposable fashion item. And get this, the sources mentioned consumer surveys finding some products being used over 1,000 times.
1,000 uses. It's an incredible number.
Right. It just totally reframes what value means in clothing.
It really does. And it shows the durability isn't an accident. It's baked right into the design process. They use techniques like less stitching, softer materials, but somehow maintain really high performance. There's a quote from a retailer in Colorado who said, Houdini doesn't just churn out more products blindly. They actually think about what the industry needs.
Thoughtful production.
Yeah. And crucially, that quality extends to what they use. That same retailer pointed out their outerwear resists water really well, but without using things like Gore-Tex or those harmful PFAS chemicals.
The per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, the forever chemicals.
Exactly. Avoiding those is huge because they just persist and accumulate everywhere. Plus, avoiding them often means the gear doesn't have that stiff, suit of armor feel you get with some technical shells.
Okay, so avoiding harmful chemistry while boosting performance. That's a great lead into materials overall. Houdini seems like a real pioneer here, pushing recycled and recyclable fabrics pretty hard.
Oh, definitely. The materials innovation is maybe one of the most impressive parts of their story, especially their work on fabrics that are inherently biodegradable, things that can actually return to the earth, like their Desoli base layers. They use natural wool fibers, and this is key. They are meticulously not blended with synthetics like nylon or polyester.
Why is keeping them pure so important? What does that enable?
Well, blending synthetics makes true closed-loop recycling or natural decomposition basically impossible. By keeping the natural fibers pure, the idea is that at the absolute end of the product's life, those fibers can break down and become nutrients for the soil again. It's radical thinking about stewardship.
Wow. And they actually proved this concept, didn't they? There was that amazing example.
Yeah, the composting story. They partnered with a fine dining chef back in Sweden, and he successfully grew vegetables using worn-out Houdini base layers as compost.
They literally turned old clothes into food.
Pretty much. That's not just marketing spin. That's like real-world proof that the closed-loop idea can work. And beyond biodegradables, they're also looking into other bio-based materials, biosynthetics. Plus, they're working hard on shedding free technologies to tackle the whole microplastics problem, recognizing that even durable synthetics shed fibers in the wash.
So they're trying to solve problems right at the source. Very comprehensive.
Exactly.
Which leads us perfectly into their whole circular consumption model. And they have this really ambitious goal. 100% circularity by 2030. They're already at, 87% of styles designed that way?
Yeah, the goal is huge. It's about ensuring that what they borrow from the planet stays as a resource, doesn't just end up as waste. And their circular strategy rests on 4 main pillars, all designed to keep garments useful way beyond that first sale.
Okay, what are those pillars?
So first is Houdini Repair, offering services, tutorials, everything to keep gear functional and in use. Second, Houdini Reuse. That means trade-in options, selling pre-owned gear, keeping garments circulating. Third is rental. It's available in some of their flagship stores in Sweden. Perfect if you only need, say, a serious expedition jacket for 1 week a year. Access, not ownership.
Makes a lot of sense for certain gear.
Totally. And the fourth pillar is recycling. They have specific take-back systems for core materials like polyester and wool, aiming to truly close the loop.
So, bringing all that together, what does it look like for the customer? They've merged these 4 pillars into this holistic retail concept in Stockholm, the Houdini Circle. The idea is it's seamless for you, the user. You walk in and choose. Buy new, buy used, rent it, or even subscribe.
And the business side of this is really the deep insight, I think. A model like this, centered on the user's choice, it demands a totally different financial structure. You have to shift focus from just maximizing profit on a single sale towards maximizing the lifetime value, the value of the customer relationship, the value of the product itself as an asset that keeps circulating. The goal becomes, as they put it, maximum value creation for all stakeholders, not just maximum short-term profit. They're basically demonstrating that this deep sustainability is actually a path to a really robust long-term business.
And they're also trying to shift the customer's mindset too, aren't they? With campaigns like Live Large with Less.
Yeah, that campaign was fascinating. Challenging people to use only 10 garments for a whole season, it really makes you question overconsumption. It shows you can still be fully equipped for adventure with a much smaller, more versatile and durable wardrobe.
It puts the focus back on the consumer's role too, empowering different choices.
Exactly. It's a crucial part of the puzzle.
Okay, final area. Their broader commitment to Systemic change, transparency, advocacy, this seems to go way beyond just marketing claims. They're talking about being truly transparent, even open source. But wait, open sourcing your best practices? Isn't that like giving away your competitive advantage? How does that make business sense?
It's a great question. And they rationalize it because the scale of the crisis, textile waste, chemical pollution, is bigger than any one company. So they actually do share their sustainability roadmaps, detailed supply chain information, their best practices for circularity publicly. The idea is that they want others, even competitors, to adopt these methods because you don't solve massive environmental problems alone. It takes shared transformation across the industry.
That's quite a perspective. It builds trust, I suppose. Or relational business, like you said earlier.
Precisely, trust over transaction. And they back it up by being an active voice in policy discussions, in industry groups, constantly pushing for wider adoption of the circular economy.
So they're really walking the talk from product design all the way to industry advocacy.
Absolutely. The core message seems to be that top-tier technical performance and deep environmental responsibility aren't mutually exclusive. They must go hand in hand, which I think raises a really interesting question for you, the listener. If clothing really is a tool for adventure, are you willing to perhaps invest a bit more upfront, acknowledging this gear can be spendy for tools that are genuinely built to last, maybe for 1,000 uses, and designed to minimize harm to the very places you love to explore?
A powerful question to consider. To learn more about Houdini Sportswear, visit them at houdinisportswear.com. Interested in finding more brands and innovators dedicated to creating a greener, more sustainable world? You can subscribe to the Seeing Green podcast wherever you access podcasts. You also can visit our website and join the Seeing Green community. Sign up at www.seeinggreen.eco and follow us at Seeing Green Eco across social media channels. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Seeing Green Spotlight Series podcast. Until next time.